What happened with Colorado this weekend could not have happened without the transfer portal. When you try to build a team the way it used to be, if you had transfers, they had to sit out. But because of the transfer portal, and Deion has upwards of 80 new players that have come in, and he's a great recruiter. A couple of years ago, I thought Florida State was making a mistake by not bringing him in as their head coach. Now, Florida State looks like Florida State once again, but Deion makes an impression. There are certain athletes that when you think about them, they're timeless. Allen Iverson is timeless. He represents or represented a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Kobe is also up there. Deion was like that. Bo Jackson is like that. As soon as you say their name, smile comes over your face. You're like, there was something great going on there. But their impact on future generations cannot be understated. And that's what Deion has done. That's what Deion did. And Deion is a presence. He's going to go in there. There's no other recruiter who's better than Deion Sanders. They're just not. He walks in, mom and dad knows who he is. And what he's going to say, that's pure Deion. Nobody else can deliver something like that. I don't know how he is as a football coach, X's and O's, but I know that he could run a program, build a program, recruit, and he's going to give you positive affirmation. And you heard that. Pre-game speech, post-game speech. Now, he said, we're collecting receipts. That's fine. I don't blame him. It's a big win against TCU. But now the season starts. Like once this wears off a little bit, you got a game against Oregon, I believe, at Oregon. Paulie, do you have the Colorado schedule?
Yeah, I got Colorado, Nebraska, national TV next week on Fox. Then they host Colorado State. Then at 15 Oregon, host USC September 30th. Okay.
But he is calling out people who didn't believe. And I think I took a kind of a cautionary tale. Maybe it would be called a measured approach. I said, I don't know about this year, but in 2 years, what Deion will do at Colorado. I still don't know. But, he makes it seem like he's, nobody knew about Travis Henry, Hunter. They did know about him. Now, he's one of the top players in the country. He went with, Deion. And at the time, I said he won't spend his entire career at Jackson State because Deion won't spend his entire coaching career, Travis Hunter, at Jackson State. He was going there because of Deion, but he was one of the top players in the country. So that's not a surprise to anybody. And Deion's son, Shador, was awesome. Put up incredible numbers. In fact, Deion talked about how they questioned his son coming here.
For real? Shador Sanders from HBCU?
Absolutely.
The one that played at Jackson last year? The one that you asked me, why would I give him the starting job? But no, not you. I got receipts. I know who they are. Not you, baby. I just got to say it. I would never do that.
Okay. He's having fun. You're calling out reporters and just see how it goes the entire season. Let's see how, what he's done, bringing everybody together, getting all the transfers in there from the transfer portal. And, reporters will keep receipts as well. But our job is not to root for Deion Sanders. Like he's calling out people. People have a job to do, and they're assessing it. Now, if you say they're going to get blown out or they have no chance, okay, then you can keep a receipt. But your job is to analyze this, look at this, and hopefully report on it. And I think that's what people are doing. You're bringing all these kids together, and you're going to send them out there. How much time have they been together? You're going to play on the road against TCU. But the fact that Deion goes to Texas and was able to win this game, now you have the inevitable letdown. Like you just do. It happens with every sport. There's always something where you go, all right, now Deion's job is now we have to continue. But what did we say when Deion went to Colorado? The next morning when he took the job, I said, I don't know how good, but they're relevant. And that's all you want. How many football programs won one game last year? And they're relevant. Now you could, and Marvin brought this up over the weekend, if I'm a network, do I have a flex schedule here? Can I get Colorado into prime time? But it was a perfect storm. On the road, they were 20 to 21-point underdogs the entire summer. That point spread came out. And TCU, of course, has a new quarterback. New players from last year went to the national title game. But now all of a sudden, you're 21-point underdogs. And I'm sure that Dion reminded his kids every single day. Nobody believes in you. 3 touchdown underdogs. And they took that chip and they ran with it. Now the question is, you're not surprising anybody anymore. Now you're on everybody's radar. Now it's like, okay, this can be real. Is it sustainable? That's the important thing with this. Because before, and Dion was saying, we had some expert who said we could be the worst team in college football. Least amount of talent. Now, that's where you keep a receipt. But all of this now, can you keep using it? Because now everybody's going to heap praise on you. Everybody's going to praise your son. They're going to praise your two-way player, Travis Hunter. Then you're on the road, going to play Nebraska. You got USC. You're out of Oregon. It's tough. But I don't want to hear the following. Well, hey, we lost a couple of games. It's hard to bring all these kids together and make it work in the first year. You can't have it both ways. If you're here, and you're going to prove it this entire season. Not a one-off against TCU. Yes, Eaton.
Yeah, it feels like an awfully big victory lap to have taken.
I love the possibility of what you have with these programs. It's a great turnaround. I watched Texas State against Baylor. I was fascinated by Texas State for some reason. I don't know why, but I know they've had the third most transfers. So Colorado was number 1. I think Texas State is 3. And then they upset Baylor 42-31. I don't know if Texas State has taken a victory lap. I don't know if their coach has said anything. I don't know if he's taken any receipts there. But that was pretty damn impressive for me. Yeah, Paulie.
Texas State sounds like a made-up university. Like
movie.
Johnny Be Good. I think it was Texas State. He goes to Old Tex, or one of those movies.
Dion was on with Pat McAfee yesterday and talked about Travis Hunter, his two-way star.
This man right here is a dog. You saw on the shirts, we don't have captains, man. I don't believe in that foolishness. I believe in leaders and dogs. Every dog ain't a leader, and every leader ain't a dog. We got some dogs. That kid right there is a darn Rottweiler, man. He don't play. He texts me at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Let's go, baby. Let's go do this. That's the text I got from Travis at 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go do this, baby.
Okay. And he did. He played in almost 130 plays, two-way player. And don't compare him to Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson didn't play the number of offensive plays that Travis Hunter is playing. They did that for Charles Woodson as a novelty, so people would go, two-way player. You're adding, you're trying to get a defensive back to be able to win the Heisman Trophy. And he did. But Travis Hunter is not a surprise. Not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I watched him in high school. I watched him in an all-star game. And there was, you got that feeling when you watched him. It's like he's so good he shouldn't even be playing in these games, that he was already at a next level. Dion saying he should be the number 1 pick overall. Okay. Just take a deep breath here. Dion doesn't take deep breaths. Yes, Seton.
Travis Hunter playing all those snaps. Is that something we should be celebrating? It feels pretty reckless.
Well,
it's an anomaly. It's like holy crap, can you believe this guy? There's a reason people don't do that.
He's sort of the Ohtani of college football. That you're going to, hopefully he doesn't have, Tommy John surgery or anything like that. But I think the novelty is there. I don't know if Dion says, hey, I need him out there to play both ways. I want him out there to play both ways. Why not play both ways? Dion wanted to play both ways. And he probably looks at Travis Hunter and sees himself and says, hey, I would have done that at Florida State. But he had 11 catches, had an interception. Yes, Heaton.
Why didn't he do it at Florida State?
I don't know if they would have let him. I
And
don't
why,
know.
And why is that?
Probably because it was reckless and you didn't want
Probably
him to get
because
hurt.
it's a terrible idea. Probably because it's a terrible idea.
Dion's going to take receipts from you, Seton
I hope that
O'Connor.
he takes that receipt.
Yeah, so
I
next
hope
time he
does.
sees you in a press conference, he'll be, hey,
Yeah.
hey, what?
Yeah. I would love nothing more than for this to be a bad take at the end of the day.
Yes, Todd.
Not only could it be reckless because of the pressure on the body having to play that many plays, but wasn't it like over 100 degrees as well?
Yeah.
I know they got little fans and drinks and ways to cool you off, but playing that many plays with weather that they said on the field was like 110 degrees or something.
I enjoyed it. I loved watching the game. There were a couple of games that I dove into far deeper than I thought I was going to, including Texas State and Baylor. I watched Michigan, the Florida State game, Clemson last night against Duke. It's one of those games where you go, it feels like Clemson can get 7 yards on every single first down. But Duke ends up winning that game. And I think the score is kind of deceptive because Clemson, and maybe, you start to look at Clemson, they had that window. And, sometimes that window closes a lot quicker than you think. And then there's another school that comes in, and then they stay on top for 3 or 4 years. I don't want Dabo Swinney taking receipts from me. I'm calling, Clemson past their prime. It was just, I'm watching Duke at Duke, and I'm thinking, all they have to do is stay close because you got the home field advantage, and they got a really good quarterback. And ended up surprising Dabo Swinney. Yeah, Paulie.
Clemson had the ball 7 times in the second half, 7 possessions. They neither scored nor punted on any of those possessions. That rarely happens.
Yeah.